Hello, my name's Terry, and I wanted to take a moment to talk about why I'm supporting Queer Britain and its aim to establish the first LGBT plus museum in the country. I was born in 1963, and in my time on the planet I've seen so many changes in and for the LGBT plus community. From partial decriminalisation in 1967, through the Stonewall riots, and no, I'm not going to try and claim I've been there, the first Pride marches, the AIDS epidemic, Section 28, civil partnerships, the removal of the ban in the military, and, of course, marriages. Truly, we have lived in a period where LGBT plus rights have moved forward. But in celebrating this, we must never lose sight of where we've come from. I was at Oldham Pride a few years ago with some friends, and whilst I don't claim to be an expert on the subject, I was amazed how little some of them knew of LGBT plus history. The years of oppression dating back to the 1500s and the first anti-gay legislation. An oppression that we exported around the world and which is still prevalent in some former empire countries. The unsung heroes of the LGBT plus community who face the daily terror of having their lives ruined just because of their sexual orientation. The men and women who ended up in the gas chambers at Auschwitz and the ones liberated from the camps only to be thrown into jail by the Allies. All of these stories deserve to be preserved and available for generations to come. On a personal note, I spent 11 years in the RAF, where to be LG or B was illegal, and the T was never even acknowledged. I spent that time so closeted my nearest neighbour was Mr. Tumnus, and the reason was simple. Gay men in the service who were caught were treated to a few years in one of Her Majesty's service prisons, followed by a dishonourable discharge. Thankfully, since the year 2000, those days are over. But as well as all the horrors of the past, we need to remind our community and the wider world of the positive contributions to society made by LGBT plus people over the centuries. For me, this would obviously include the arts, writers, performers, musicians, dancers, the list goes on. For others, it may be renowned scientists such as Sophia Jex-Black, Sir Edmund Trelawney Backhouse, or Alan Turing, a man destroyed by the very establishment he helped to save. Then there are the great authors, Sir Francis Bacon, Daphne du Maurier, or Anna Seward. I could go on forever. There is not a single area of life where LGBT plus people have not contributed, and they deserve to be recognised. Ultimately, the LGBT plus community has a fascinating history, and for me, remembering the horrors, celebrating the achievements, and looking to the future by learning from the past are what I believe the establishment of this museum will achieve, and I look forward to my first visit there.